everybody. Welcome. My name is Laura Cantu, and welcome to yet another live Monday. This is our English live stream. So I hope that you are all ready to go, that you are excited, and that you are ready to learn, because today we are talking about a very, very important subject, a subject that a lot of parents, ask me questions about. Some students also ask questions about this. Today we're talking about the different types of high school in the United States. I will be talking about some of the different types of high schools in the United States. As we all know, there are private schools, public schools. Some of you may be familiar with charter schools, and some may be familiar with magnet schools. So I will be breaking those down for you. I will be explaining the differences. I will be kind of talking about what makes them unique. A lot of parents ask me, which one's better for my student, a private school or a public school? I'm not sure, I'm lost, a magnet school, charter school, etc. There are some differences and some things, that make all these institutions unique. And today I will be explaining that to you. So let's say hello to our friends watching us today. Today we have Dan Schrading saying hello there. Hello, Dan. Thank you so much for coming back and for joining us today during our Monday live stream. I'm happy that you joined. Jenna Dean is back, and she says, hello there. Hello, Jenna. Love the puppy in your picture. Super cute. And thank you so much for joining today. I hope you guys are prepared with questions and you are ready to learn, because as I said, this topic is something that we get a lot of questions about, and something a lot of people ask us, questions about. So I will be explaining it. I will be talking to you guys about it. And also, I want to let you know, for all of you watching us on YouTube, we have created an additional YouTube channel that is an English channel. So from now on, our live streams starting next week, we will be having our live streams in our new YouTube channel. And we share in the comments, we've shared with you the link with our new YouTube channel, so you can go subscribe to that channel. We decided to separate Spanish and English because we believe that will make it easier for our parents and our students, because we are bilingual, counselors. So we definitely think that separating both channels might make it easier for everybody. So linked to this video, in the comments, I have attached this the English channel, the Best College Aid USA, where we will be solely posting content in English from now on. So this is our last live stream on YouTube that we will be doing on this specific channel, so definitely go follow that. And if you're watching on Facebook, then you have found our English page. We've decided to separate all of this and to make it easier for everybody, right? And to kind of like keep the content, in one page, and the Spanish content in one and the English content in the other. So definitely go give Best College Aid USA, a subscribe. If you are on YouTube, subscribe to our Best College Aid account, USA. I have linked it to this video and to the comments. And also, if you're on Facebook, then you have found our Best College Aid USA page. With that being said, thank you so much for being here. If you're just joining, we're talking about the different types of high schools in the US. This is going to be a super informational video. I'm going to be packing it with a lot of important information that a lot of parents have asked us about in the past few years, and we always get questions about it, specifically with parents who might have students in middle school who might be going into a high school, parents who are considering their options, trying to figure out what school is best for their student. And just for parents who already have students in maybe a private school or public school and might be concerned or might have their doubts, don't worry, today I will be explaining all of this. And as always, David is in the comment section answering your questions. So let me pull up his comment. Hello everyone, please let us know where you're joining from and if you have students in middle school or in high school. Yes, please, in the comment section. Remember that I like to make these live streams super interactive. So in the comment section, Let me know where you're joining from. I'm in Florida, and I am not a parent. Was a student once, and now I help parents and students. My name is Laura, so if you're new, thank you so much for joining. And if you're new, nice to meet you. I am here to help you navigate the college admissions process. Me, along with my siblings, we work together and we put everything that we learned when we were in high school, when we were, just starting, when we came to this country, and we didn't understand a lot of how the system worked, and we had to learn, right? We had to navigate the system. We had to understand what the opportunities this country has to offer are, how to, find these opportunities and how to use them to your advantage to receive scholarships for college. Fortunately, by, understanding how the system worked, my siblings and I, my 3 brothers and I, we managed to get over $600,000 in scholarships and financial aid to go to college in the United States. We basically all were able to go to college with full tuition scholarships, so we didn't have to pay for tuition. And this is all because we worked hard in understanding how, the education system works in the US. And we worked hard towards, finding opportunities that were right for us. So yeah, that's me. That's a little bit about me in case you didn't know or this is your first time watching us. And I see that Dan Schrader says that he is also in Florida. All right, Dan. Awesome. Yeah, Florida right now, we're having some chilly weather, which is really nice. Not chilly like in New York, but up north, but it's still kind of chilly. I don't know if you can agree with me, Dan. For the Florida standards, it's definitely a bit cool. Alrighty, so thank you for joining, Dan. Everybody else, please let us know where you're joining from. In our Spanish live streams, we had some people from South Dakota, North Dakota, Arkansas, people from all over the country, which I personally believe it's so cool that we are able to reach so many people from all these different parts of the country. I believe that that's something so amazing, and just through a phone screen. So I'm really grateful to be able to do that and to be able to share my knowledge with people regardless of location. So if you know somebody who might benefit from this information, please make sure that you share this video with them or any of our other, content. Trust me, there might be someone out there that that might be confused or who might benefit from this information. So definitely make sure that you share these videos and all of our content with them. And just a reminder, this is our weekly live stream schedule. On Monday, we go live on Instagram and on Facebook. Today's Monday. On YouTube and on Facebook. Today's Monday. So we are currently live. It's 3 p.m., so we're doing our English live stream, and we just did our Spanish live stream earlier today at 1 p.m. My brother David was here. And then on Tuesdays, we have our Instagram and TikTok live streams at 1 p.m. These take place on Instagram and TikTok, and 1 p.m. in Spanish and 3 p.m. in English. And again, we created separate social media accounts for English and Spanish. So definitely make sure that you follow. For our Spanish social media, we have the handle is at Best College Aid for all of our Spanish social media, and for our English social media pages is at Best College Aid USA. So make sure that you follow us in all of our social media so that you can stay up to date with all of our content and all of our freebies, our free information, and all the information that we just put out there that we want people to, know that maybe might benefit someone and might help them choose the right class, choose the right advanced placement course for them, find a scholarship, understand how financial aid works. We post a lot of information that can be very helpful to students and parents. So definitely go follow our social medias. Alrighty. So, as I said, today we're talking about the different types of high school. What are the different types of high school? In the US, I will be talking about some. Make sure that you stay till the end of the video because I do have a huge surprise for you. It is Cyber Monday, so don't forget to stay till the end because, as I said, we have a little surprise for anyone who stays till the end. Alrighty? Alright, so without further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started? All right, so the different types of high school in the United States. Let's start with public schools, public high schools. All right, so What are public high schools? These are institutions that are operated by the district or the states. They have no tuition, so there is no cost for students to attend a public high school. The student to counselor ratio in a public high school is 424 to 1, which means that public high schools can, tend to be larger institutions in the United States. Obviously, the most institutions that there are in the United States, it's public institutions, public high schools. So definitely these class sizes tend to be higher or larger in a public high school. And that is why counselors have, more students to help at a public high school. Open enrollment at public high schools. So usually there are no requirements for students to apply to a public high school. There is no entrance exam. There is no examination for public high schools. And usually, students will attend a public high school based on, their location, based on where they live. But there are high schools that are, very flexible, and students don't have to go to the high school that's, directly close to them. They could go to one that's maybe further than another school. But yeah, public high schools, there are, the larger amount. There is, in the United States, the most amount of institution of high schools are public high schools. There are more high schools in the United States than there are private, charter, magnet schools, etc. So public high schools usually also tend to have older facilities because these are schools, that have been around for longer. And usually the funds, the money that is used in a public high school comes from a district or a state. And sometimes, many times, depending on the location or on the institution, or the state, the money or the funding does not always go towards facilities. These schools have other priorities in mind. They will have education as a priority, right? They will have resources like books, computers, teachers. They will put that as a priority. So usually public high schools tend to have their facilities can be a bit older and might not be the number one priority for the school to focus on. But it depends on the state and the location. Some public schools are amazing and will have, great facilities. Some might not. It all depends, again, on funding and the location of the high school. And as I mentioned earlier, public high schools have larger class sizes. So there are schools that have, huge, public high schools that have huge class sizes, and when you compare this to a smaller private school, the class sizes will surprise some students who go to private school. And if they were to go to a public school, they might be, in shock to see that there are so many students per teacher. So that is what a public school is, a public high school. Now, let's talk about private high schools. Let's compare the two. So private high schools can be operated by religious institutions and private organizations. So private high schools are operated by private sources, right? And, sometimes they can be affiliated with religious institutions. Sometimes they cannot be. Many times, though, private high schools are affiliated with religious, entities. But nevertheless, these schools, have some sort of private organization linked to it. Hence, private high school. So a private high school usually can cost up to $15,405 a year. That's the national average. So there is a tuition to attend a private high school in the United States. Some schools have scholarships. Some states have state scholarships for students to attend private high schools, but yeah, there is a cost to attend. So when you compare this to a public school, some of the costs can be very, very high, right, for a private school. So this is something to keep in mind and to consider. Another thing about a private high school is that students, the student and counselor ratio, there is a 250 to 1 student to school counselor ratio, which, when we talked about the private school, it's much lower. So students who go to a private school might have a little bit more time with a school counselor at a private school that they would have at a public institution. Now, another thing to keep in mind about private schools is that the admissions process, the admissions criteria might be a bit longer, at a private school. So longer admissions process equals higher academic standards. Some private schools, have very high academic standards, and they also have admissions criteria that might be higher. So this is something to keep in mind. Some private schools have entry exams. Some look at GPA. Some have, interviews. So there are some admissions criteria for some private institutions in the United States. And private high schools have more modern facilities and equipment. This is because, all the funding comes from tuition. So private schools might have the liberty to have, newer facilities, newer equipment. And again, class sizes at a private high school, can be smaller, can be less. So definitely, this is a big difference from a public school. Public schools tend to have larger class sizes compared to a private school. And, a lot of parents ask us often, what's better, a private school or a public school? Well, it depends. It all depends on the location. There are some amazing public schools. We have students that go to great public schools that are funded by the government or by the state, that have a lot of funding, that focus on education, that focus on educational programs, on having good teachers, and having good resources like equipment. And there are some public universities that might not have the same type of funding, that might not be located in an area that prioritizes education. So it all depends. And some private schools, most private schools have the funding to have a great educational system or resources. But don't think that just because private schools have the funding, it means that a public school is not a great education for students. And there's also a myth. A lot of people believe that just because a student goes to a private school, their chances of getting accepted to college will be higher. As a matter of fact, that is completely not true. Colleges don't focus on private or public school. They focus on, what the student did in high school, what the resources for the students were when they were in high school, and how, basically they use those resources to their advantage. So, of course, institutions, matter, and you want your student to go to a school that will have good resources for them. That's why it's good to, maybe if you're thinking, okay, there's a few public schools in the area, let's do some research, which one has, maybe this one has an A ranking, which one has a history of, helping students prepare for SATs, or what classes are, offered at this institution, etc. And I will talk about charter schools and magnet schools in just a second, because those tend to be more specialized. So those are also things that you could consider if you are trying to think, what is the best option for my student. All right. So those were private schools and public schools. Let's move on to charter high schools. Okay, so charter high schools, these are independently operated public schools funded by individuals or organizations. So these are basically public schools, but they are not all, funded by the state or the government, like public schools are. These can be funded by individuals or organizations. They can be started by individuals, by nonprofits, and they are free. Charter schools are completely free to attend. Students don't have to pay for these schools because these are public schools. And the student to school counselor ratio is 250 to 1. So differently from, a regular public school, charter schools can have smaller class sizes. These are public schools with smaller class sizes, if you want to put it that way. It's open enrollment, but they could be selective at charter schools. This means that, a student can get in. The admissions requirements are not super selective, but there might be some things like maybe a capping, maybe they cannot accept students past a point, if the class has been filled, students might not be able to be admitted, or there might be some sort of interview process, but it's nothing, super hard or impossible, but it's usually open enrollment. It depends on the charter school, but there are some schools that do have some sort of admission requirement, but it's not like super selective. And charter schools offer flexibility and alternative teaching methods. So charter schools were basically invented or created to offer a flexible and alternative teaching method than, your typical traditional public school. At charter schools, the school itself can create its own curriculum and have its own alternative teaching methods, So a charter school might be good for a student that might need an alternative teaching method, right? Or an alternative curriculum. So they're more specialized and they're smaller. So basically charter schools can be the smaller, type of public high school that is more specialized for, students. So that is a charter school. They are great schools. And now let's talk about magnet school. I went to a magnet school when I was in high school, and I might be a little biased, but I love magnet schools. They are great. And I had a great experience with a magnet school. So let's break it down. What a magnet school in the United States is. So, magnet schools are operated by the district or state, so a public school. These schools offer a special curriculum that is, similar to like a public school where it's very, organized, but they have different options, if that makes sense. So, specific curriculums such as STEM programs. My school it actually had STEM and performing arts, my high school. There was an engineering, route students could take. There was a good performing arts program, debate, etc. Magnet schools can offer a specific curriculum for STEM, performing arts, or vocational training depending on the institution. And there are some admissions criteria for these schools. They can be selective, such as they will check standardized test scores, or they will have a standardized test score, check that they will look at to see if they admit students. There's also lotteries. When I was in high school, when I first started, my magnet school had a lottery system, and we were, fortunate enough to get accepted into this program. This magnet school, and there's also like first come first serve for magnet schools, so similar to charter schools where there's a capping for a class, and if the capping, the max capacity of students is filled, they can no longer accept more applicants or more students to go to that magnet school, magnet high school. And the class sizes at a magnet schools tend to be medium to large. So there are not huge like a traditional public high school, but it's not like a charter school that tends to be, the class size tends to be a bit smaller. So a magnet school, it's kind of like a nice in between when it comes to class sizes, if you're looking at a traditional public school and a charter school. So yeah, that's a magnet school. It's very specialized with STEM, they're specialized also, they can be performing arts, performing arts programs are specialized for students to help them, improve in their craft, and, or vocational training, what I liked about my school, as I mentioned, my high school had a very strong STEM, program, curriculum, but they also offered a performing arts curriculum, and if you have seen my past live streams, I did theater when I was in high school, and I was really into theater, that program at that magnet school, the theater program was amazing. It really helped me improve. It helped me, prepare for states and all these type of competitions, and it ultimately helped me go to college with a theater scholarship. So magnet school worked perfectly for me. It also worked for my siblings, my brother Francisco was into like the STEM route, and so was my brother David. So a magnet school was great for us, which brings me to my next point. A lot of people ask me, which one's better? Which type of institution is better for my students? Public, private, charter, or magnet high school? Well, it depends on the student's academic and extracurricular needs. As I said, at a magnet school, my extracurricular needs were theater, right? I knew that I wanted to continue to do it, and I knew that I wanted to potentially go to college with a theater scholarship. So the magnet high school that I got into, my family was, accepted into by a lottery, was great for me. But maybe if I was a student who wanted to be in a smaller institution with smaller class size and maybe have more of a teacher student interaction, maybe a magnet school wouldn't have been great for me. Maybe a charter school would have been better because the class sizes are smaller, or maybe a private school. It all depends. High schools have different curriculums, have different specializations. So it all depends on the high school and the location. I don't want you to think that just because a school is a public school, it means that it's not a good school. There are amazing public institutions, public high schools. There's one called Cypress Bay, for example. It's a huge school with large class sizes, but it's an amazing high school. A lot of the students who graduate, they have a high graduation and to go to college after graduation rate, and it's a great public school, and the student to faculty ratio, it's pretty high, but they still manage to help their students prepare and go to college after they go to high school. So it all depends on your student, and their needs, and it's about doing the research and finding out what is going to work out best for your student. If your student thrives in a more in a larger environment with a lot of people, if they're a social person, if they want to maybe do a lot of work in the community and volunteer or just be involved, maybe a public school or a magnet school that has more students might be better for them, right? But if they maybe have a specific sport that they want to play and a private high school has, a great sports program, or a charter school has a great sports team, maybe that school might be better for them. So it all depends on the students and their needs, all right? So yeah, which one's better? Depends on the student's academic and extracurricular needs, all right? So those were the differences between our public high schools in the United States, private high schools in the United States, charter high schools, and magnet high schools in the United States. I know that was a lot of information. It's a very heavy topic, and there we could get into like virtual schools, virtual charter schools, etc., which is more specific, which we could do. So if you would be interested in us talking about that in the future, please let me know in the comment section below. It's super doable. These schools that we mentioned in this video, though, it's already a lot of information, so I can understand if it's a little bit overwhelming. But remember that we save these videos to the platform. So whether you are on Facebook or you are on YouTube, you can go watch, pause it. You can still ask questions even when we are off the air. You can, ask a question in the comment section and we will answer it. So yeah, if there's any questions, or if you're shy, if you don't want to ask us a question on YouTube in the comment section, you can always send us an email at support@bestcollegeaid.com, and we will try to get back to you on time and answer your question. Now, I talked about earlier, I mentioned that we have a huge Cyber Monday surprise for you, and that is our Cyber Monday 70% off discount. This is the biggest discount in the history of Best College Aid. We are having a 70% off discount. Usually our course is at $997, but because of Cyber Friday and the holidays, Thanksgiving just passed, we decided to extend this offer for $297 for you to join Best College Aid today. This offer expires tonight, though, because today is Cyber Monday and it's been going on, it happened last week, but today is the last day. So make sure that if you want to join Best College Aid today, you take advantage of this amazing discount. As I mentioned, this is the biggest discount, the biggest sale we've had in the history of Best College Aid. It's a huge discount, a huge sale, and we are, happy to do it because we know that there's a lot of families that need, orientation, that need to understand, the college admissions process, and that might need to be helped along the way, and that is what Best College Aid. So if you're new, what is Best College Aid? Best College Aid is an online, step-by-step platform where we help students and parents navigate the college admissions journey. And some of the things Best College Aid includes is an online private community. So everybody who joins Best College Aid, all of our members get access to our private Facebook community where there are over 350 parents and students, receiving support, answering questions, receiving, just help online and just helping each other navigate the college admissions process. Additionally, the Best College Aid is a lifetime membership. So anybody who joins Best College Aid gets access to Best College Aid for life, and will get access to our digital course, to 80 plus step-by-step video tutorials, our full methodology, and as I said, it's a lifetime access. And additionally, Best College Aid members also enjoy access to a free 12-month ACT online prep account, which is amazing. A lot of our students who are, preparing for the ACT exam use it and, have told us that it helped them improve their ACT scores because, it has tests, it has quizzes, it has a lot of resources that help students prepare for these exams, which, by the way, are very important when applying to colleges because a lot of schools still require the ACT exam, and you want your students to have a high ACT score so that they can be accepted into great universities. All right, so additionally, there's downloadable attachments. We have video tutorials on things like how to fill out the FAFSA, how to write a great college essay. We have a whole section dedicated to just middle school students. We have a section dedicated to parents and students, a 4-year high school planner, that's free for all of our members and helps them stay on track throughout the whole 4 years of high school. And we additionally also have a life in college section. So we continue to help students even after they have started college, and they are already in college. So this is all the information that helped us go to college with full tuition scholarships, and that has helped hundreds of students navigate and get accepted with financial aid to colleges of, their choice and the colleges of their dreams. So take advantage of this amazing discount. As I said, is 70% off. The biggest discount that we've had in the history of Best College Aid. You can be a member today. For Best College Aid, you can have our membership for only $297. So this is the cheapest we've ever had the course, and the cheapest it'll ever be. So remember that the offer expires tonight at midnight. Let me show you how you can access this discount. So let's say you are watching us on YouTube. Let me share my screen with you. This is, what you might be seeing. All you have to do is click on Show More. Click on our Cyber Monday sale ends tonight. You click on this link and you will be taken to our sales page where, David will receive you with a nice little smile. Here you can see everything that Best College Aid offers, what's inside Best College Aid, all these video tutorials, how to avoid student loans, high school student prep, middle school student preps, athletic scholarships for all those student athletes out there, life in college, parents and students. Bonus, that's unlimited online support. So all of our members receive online support constantly. You have a question, you send us a message, we answer it. ACT online prep account, 12 months for free. Access to our exclusive Facebook group with, as I said, 350 members, downloads. You can download spreadsheets, PDFs, essay templates, etc. Discounts for ACT and SAT study material and more. All of this has a value of $10,000, but we have decided to bring it down from even $997, which is usually how much it is. We brought it down to $297 due to Cyber Monday. Remember, this offer expires in 11 hours, so all you have to do is click Buy Now. There you go, and you will be taken to a, watch out, 1 second. Go to site, there you go. All you have to do is click on Buy Now, and you will have access to the sales page where the coupon is already added. So all you have to do is put in your information and you can join Best College Aid today. We also have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So let's say you're not happy or we have not been able to solve your issues, which we barely have any problems with that. Usually our students are very, very happy with our service and all the information that we provide for them. But there is a 14-day money-back guarantee. So if you're not satisfied, you can definitely have a refund. So definitely take advantage of this amazing resource, $297 for, information and resources and, basically just online support and help that it's worth thousands of dollars. We're giving it to you for just $297. So take advantage of this amazing resource and this amazing discount that ends tonight in less than 11 hours. No, in 11 hours. So don't forget to take advantage of this amazing resource. All right. Let's see if we have any questions. I'm looking at the chat. It doesn't seem that we do. I will continue to still. All right. Yeah. Oh, Jenna Dean has a question. All right. So Jenna's asking, can you still receive financial aid if the student goes to a private school? All right, so I'm assuming this is financial aid for college. Yes, they're 100%. Students can receive financial aid to go to college, despite whether or not they attended a private high school. So a lot of parents also ask us like, oh, my student's going to a private high school, but they're going with scholarship. That's the way we can afford it. Or, our private high school is, not as expensive. So we were able to save up and pay for this, but we don't know if, a private university, if we will be able to pay for the tuition. So to make, in other words, yes, students can still receive financial aid, need-based aid, even if they attended a private high school. When colleges are looking at a student's, application and they are, trying to award financial aid, need-based aid, they will not look at the high school, you went to. They will look at the parents' FAFSA information. So all the information that the parents, filled out in the FAFSA, the income tax statements, the tax returns, all of that, will basically help colleges determine how much financial aid they can give to a student. So yes, there are ways to still get financial aid to go to college, despite of, having going to a private school in high school. And there's also, academic scholarships. There are athletic scholarships. As a matter of fact, as I said earlier, a lot of parents choose to go to private schools because of the extracurricular opportunities that these institutions might offer. And a lot of students do go to private schools in high school because they had a scholarship. If not, they wouldn't have been able to afford it, So colleges, will know this when looking at a student's FAFSA application and making a decision on need-based aid. But great question, Jenna. So don't think just because a student goes to a private school, it means that they will not be able to receive, financial aid once they go to college. But that's a great question. All right. Doesn't look like we have any more questions. I want to remind you that we have a new YouTube channel for our English videos. So effective as of next week, Monday, we will be starting our YouTube live streams on that website, on that YouTube channel. And if you're watching this on Facebook, then you know that, this is our new English channel. So welcome. Definitely give it a like. Share this page with anybody that you know might benefit from this information. And, because you never know, maybe somebody has a lot of questions and we can help them out. We also post a lot of, helpful content like short videos, pictures, links, blogs, etc. So definitely like this page. If you are on YouTube, I have linked in the comments our new YouTube channel for our English content. So definitely go subscribe to that. And I will continue to update. Follow us on all of our social media so you can stay up to date with all of our, changes and information. We are going through a bit of, a change. We are switching, adding different pages to have all the Spanish content in one page and all our English content in another. So I do ask for, I thank you for your consideration and help and patience, and it will be more organized, I promise. So definitely go follow Best College AD USA on all social media, and I will see you again next week for our English live stream in our new YouTube channel, Best College AD USA. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you again maybe tomorrow for our TikTok and YouTube lives, or next week. And don't forget to take advantage of this amazing sale that we have going on. I hope that you had an amazing time, and hopefully I was able to answer your questions. Like this video, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you again in the next live stream.